People are arguably any organization's most important resource. Yet, too many leaders take them for granted, viewing them only as their largest expense rather than their greatest asset. Hi, I'm Alicia Butler-Pierre. Ask any fast-growing organization about the resources they need to keep up with demand. And one of the first things you're likely to hear is people. I need to hire more people. People make things happen. Even with automation technology, people are needed to code it, implement it, maintain it, and troubleshoot it. That's why having all your legal ducks in a row when it comes to your interviewing, hiring, onboarding, and even terminating processes is so important. Get ready to discover a human resources solution designed specifically for managing people in smaller businesses. A solution that can keep your business audit ready, compliant, and focused on long-term success. This is Season 14, Episode 176. Let's start the show.
Welcome to Business Infrastructure, the podcast about curing back office blues of fast-growing businesses. If you're a business owner or operator looking for practical tips and solutions to scaling your business in a sustainable manner, you're in the right place. Now here's your hostess, Alicia Butler-Pierre.
Having a tough time trying to explain ideas over a video conference? Try the Think Smart Whiteboard. It's the fastest whiteboard software in the world and allows you to upload flowcharts and write on them while your colleagues are watching remotely. Call us today for a free demo. The number is 1-866-584-6804 or visit us online at getmytablet.com. Now that's smart. Think smart. Today's episode is brought to you by Equilibria Incorporated, the company behind this podcast, where we design scale-ready business infrastructure for fast-growing small businesses. This season, we're talking about game-changing technology, and joining us from the beautiful Seattle, Washington area is my good friend, Jason Cavness. Jason is the founder and CEO of CavnessHR, and he's invented a software by the same name to support entrepreneurs like us who have 49 or fewer employees. You know, as our companies grow, it's only natural that we need to expand our teams. We need to hire more people, but you still might not be able to justify paying for a full-time HR person. And that's where CavnessHR comes in. So we're going to learn all about it and how we can leverage this software to help us with our HR needs and keep us out of trouble, right, Jason?
Yes, Alicia. Thanks. Yes, Alicia.
So this is your second time being on the show, Jason. Welcome back. How are you?
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on again. I really appreciate it.
Wow, I'm so excited, Jason. And we get to actually have an official conversation again, although you and I have been keeping in touch, for the past 2 or 3 years now?
2 years, yeah.
Oh, 2 years? Okay.
About 3 years, yeah. It's been yeah.
Yeah, and we're friends.
Yes.
Seriously, because our friendship is truly a testament to the power of podcasting. We've been guests on each other's show, and from day one, Jason, you have been so generous with sharing information, sharing all of these really cool technologies and other gadgets that to help streamline different things that we might do administratively or just to streamline back office operations. And look at where we are now. I don't even think you had the software when we first met.
No. Yeah. One thing is, we're talking later as an entrepreneur, you do stuff data as an entrepreneur, you kind of forget the progress you made, right?
Yeah. I was thinking about it as I was preparing for our interview. I was thinking, you know what, Jason didn't even have this software when we first met. How cool is that? So it's going to be really interesting to go back and listen to your first interview on the show and compare it to where you are with this interview. But I just wanted to say, before we get too far into the interview, I am so proud of you and everything that you've accomplished. I really am.
And congrats to you to all your recent success too. You've been doing big things too.
I'm trying, Jason, trying to keep up with you.
No, you're not trying. You're way past me right now. I got to catch up to you. You signing network deals and all kind of big stuff, getting sponsored by big time companies.
I'm trying, Jason. I'm trying. Now, but listen, before we talk more about the CavnessHR software, for those who are unfamiliar with you, I was wondering if we could first talk a little bit more about you and your background and what actually led you to not only create your company, CavnessHR, but the software as well. Now, I know you're a U.S. Army veteran and you held different HR positions while you were stationed in Afghanistan, right?
Yes.
Now, did you join the Army before or after college? Or was college like somewhere nestled in between your Army?
Nestled in between. I joined like when I was 19 years old. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yes. Yeah. So it's such a story. So like people ask me how I got started in HR. And so you go to the Army, you take your ASVAB test. According to the test, they tell you what kind of jobs you can take, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to go in there sooner than later, because I needed, I wasn't living a good life. I wasn't doing good things. So I didn't go to the Army, right, to get my life in order. And so they said, well, the soonest we can get you can either be in the Army, it's called AG, Adjutant General. It's for HR. You can either be AG or you can be a parachute repairman. And they show you videos, right? So the parachute repairman is like 100 dudes in this hot ass warehouse, like sweaty, nasty, like just like, man, what's going on here? And then the video of the AG or HR was like office environment, air conditioning. Remember, I'm 19 at the time. Some nice looking females walking around. Like, man, this is a no brainer. I have no idea what AG or HR, I don't know how to type or nothing like that, but I'm going to learn, because I'm not doing a parachute, repairing a parachute, 100 dudes in this hot, because the repair place is only a Fort Bragg, North Carolina or Fort Benning, Georgia. As you know, those are hot places, right?
Yeah.
And also with HR, they said I could go to Germany. So I was all over that, right? So yeah, that's how I got started with HR, something that's totally random. Like.
So, but did you actually end up in Germany?
Yeah, I was in Germany. I was in a town called Givelstadt by Würzburg for a couple of years.
Very cool. Okay, so you join the Army, you take this career assessment type test, you decide you will pursue the HR path, and then you relocate to Germany. And then what? What were you actually doing in terms of HR work, Jason?
So my first job, it's a thing called SIPRS. It's like a database where you enter people's names, and basically the military database called SIPRS. Now it's called Top Mystery or something. So basically, like, you do the back end tracking all the military personnel. So I was doing that for a unit, and I was pretty good at it,
Mm-hmm.
And then you keep on doing different jobs. Like, people ask me all the time, what's harder, like civilian HR or military HR? I always say military HR, because in military, every year everyone gets a job performance review. Everyone gets an award. When someone leaves, you get them an award. Like, if you work for like Boeing or Microsoft or Coca-Cola, I'm pretty sure if you leave after 6 years, they probably do nothing for you, right? Where in the military, if you leave even after 6 months, you get some kind of award, or you got to track all that kind of stuff. So a lot, like, the military is really big on data and stats and tracking stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of that is HR stuff. Yeah.
I can already see how this is leading to what you're doing right now. Okay, so you're in Germany, you're working in these HR databases, and then at what point do you decide to go back to go to college?
So I did most of my college while I was in the military. It's the thing where in the military they pay 75% of your tuition. Then I got a couple of years, got my degree from the University of Texas, Permian based on the Desert, Texas. Got my degree, then went back in the Army, and then so I did 25 years in the Army, so I'm a retired officer. I did 8 years enlisted, 17 years as an officer.
Wow.
And, I've been in different places. So Germany twice, Italy, Korea, South Carolina twice, Texas, Kansas, Afghanistan, and here in Fort Lewis and Washington. And what's funny is, like, if you ask my wife her best place, she'll say Germany.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say Italy. And my 3 kids will all say Korea, which is interesting, right?
So you each had something that you loved about those countries.
Okay,
so you go to school, and then it sounds like you may have worked a little again before you pursued a master's degree in HR.
Yes, and just to be clear, it's an actual degree in human relations from Oklahoma University.
Human relations. Yeah. Okay.
But of course, I put HR there because it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Okay, and at what point did you actually leave the Army?
So I retired in like 2015, And I'll go to the story how I got involved in startups, tech, and all that kind of stuff. So it's 2014, or actually beginning of 2015, got 8-9 months left. So I got to tell the story first so everyone can get a laugh, right? So people always ask me, like, I was born and raised in Texas. Me and my wife born and raised she was born and raised in Texas. Both from the same hometown. And people ask me, well, why are you still in the Seattle area? I thought you were going back to Texas. Mm-hmm. And so about a year before I retired in 2014, I told the wife, hey, got a year left. We got to decide pretty soon where we're going to in Texas, right? Because we agree we're going back to Texas, right? Mm-hmm. Like, are we going to move by your people, my people, best job, just some random location? So look at me, dead in my eye. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I like it here and we're not going nowhere. I'm like, wait, what? Where did this come from? Like, what's going on?
A happy wife makes a happy life, Jason. So I've heard.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. And don't be wrong. It's nice here. Especially I'm trying to do a tech startup. There's definitely, it's a good place to be at, but you never be home.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, no, you really are in the so central to everything that's going on in tech. So speaking of tech, again, before we get into your software, don't worry, we're going to have plenty of time to talk about your software. But at what point did you decide to start your own company? Because I know you eventually retired, and it looks like you had a couple of different positions, HR related positions for different companies. But at what point did you decide, you know what? I'm tired of working this 9 to 5 for someone else. I want to start my own company.
Yeah, so I think this is a great story. So a few years before I retired, back then in the Army, we tell you, go on LinkedIn, connect with people, find a job, blah. So I'm on LinkedIn, connect with people. And this guy named Mark Monroe reaches out to me on LinkedIn. He says, hey, Jason, my name is Mark Monroe. I have a startup called Mindfold. We want to have college graduates and military veterans try to find jobs by doing skills tests. So if you don't think resumes like take care of y'all, can we meet in person? You tell me how the Army's going to help you find a job when you get out, or does it, what's going on with that? I said, sure. But one question for you, Mark. What the blank is a startup? Like, I had no clue, no concept what a startup was. Like you just can't start a company. That's not allowed. Companies already exist, right? Like, are you kidding me? Like, so, he laughed, of course, explained it to me. He gave me like a crash course one-on-one on startups, right? Like product market fit, MVPs, all this kind of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And so a light bulb goes in my head. Hey, Mark, this sounds pretty interesting, but you never talk about HR. Why? I said, oh, HR, we do that later on the road. It's important, but we don't have time for that right now because we got to do all this other stuff. No light bulb goes off. Hey, Mark, this seems pretty interesting to me. You should let me join your startup. And, so I can learn this stuff to do HR for. He agreed. And so I joined his startup. But like most startups, it didn't make it right. I was there for like 2 years.
I know. It was just starting to get good, right? Well, there's more where that came from. To listen to the full interview, be sure to click the link in the description box below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell so that you'll know when our next episode drops. Until then, keep operating smoothly.
Join us next week for another episode of Business Infrastructure with Alicia Butler-Pierre.